Okay, I think most of you are here, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to to the IAU OAD onboarding session. Um, we are recording the session on YouTube, so if you're not able to stay for the entire duration, or if you want to share with your other team members, you'll be able to find the link on our YouTube. Maybe Joyful, you can just find the link and put it in the chat. And thanks also to the OED partners for joining us today. So later, I think in about an hour and a half, we'll give space for each of the partners to introduce yourself, just say hello to our new projects, tell them what you do and how you're collaborating with the OED and any opportunities you may have through your work that the projects can take advantage of. So this is our program for the day. Let me just share my screen. So this is day one. So we have two more days after this, and the aim of the onboarding sessions is, like I said in my emails, is to introduce you to the OAD. So we'll be coordinating all the projects remotely. I think last year was the first time we had a project locally close to the OAD office for the first time in a long time. Otherwise, all our projects are remote. We don't visit you, you don't visit us. So we thought this is a nice opportunity to actually see each other face to face. Later on, as your projects start your activities, I will be meeting some of you on Zoom every now and then, and keep in touch over emails. But this is the only opportunity we have for all of you to get together and meet all of us. So we'll talk to you about the OAD. I think some of our regional offices will join online. The OAD has 11 regional offices around the world, so they will also introduce themselves. Then I'll ask one person from each project to please introduce yourself and anyone else from your team who is present today. And then briefly, 2 minutes, just explain what is your project and what you plan to do. I think this is a nice opportunity for you to also hear from other projects, perhaps think about any potential collaborations, even if projects, are in different parts of the world. And then we'll have some presentations from the different offices of the IAU. The IAU, as you know, is a very large and diverse global network. There's 4 offices and 2 centers. So some of the offices and one center will present today what they do, how it's different from the OED's work, and again, any opportunities for you to work with them or contribute to their mission. And then towards the end of the session, we have a slot for all of the OED partners where, this is our way of also acknowledging their support and contribution to the OED's Astronomy for Development mission over the years. And we will ask them to briefly talk about what it is that they do. You might have seen that tomorrow we'll focus on flagships and evaluation. So tomorrow we'll split you off into different groups based on your flagship theme. If your project doesn't fit into any theme, we'll still have something for you. And then my colleague Asasive will do a mini workshop on evaluations tomorrow. So the way we run evaluations is that we try to take on as much of the preparatory work as possible, trying to make things easy for you, um, so that evaluation is not an added burden on you as a project team. And then on the final day, we'll talk a bit about fundraising and also hear from some of the previous projects that were funded by the OED. So that's our plan for the 3 days. And then on Friday, at I think it is 1 hour before this time on Friday, we will have presentations by last year's projects, by 2025 projects, that will talk about, that will describe, what they did over the year, what was the problem they trying to solve, what were the results or impact, any challenges. So again, it would be a good opportunity for you to attend the Friday session. It's completely optional, but I think it's really a great way to know what astronomy for development means in practice, what are the challenges that the projects faced, and how they overcame the challenges. Might be very relevant for your project as well. So I will ask Kevin Govinder, the OAD's director, to formally welcome you and say a few words about the OAD.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ram, and thanks everyone for joining. This is an important week for us to get to all know the projects a bit better. I think Ram and Azasiwe will be the ones getting to know you on a personal basis over the course of the year. But the OAD was established back in 2011 through the International Astronomical Union partnering with the National Research Foundation in South Africa. So the International Astronomical Union, just briefly, this is the global body of professional astronomers, around 13,000 astronomers from around the world, and they decided that this field of astronomy has such a potential to impact on society. How do we bring that potential together? When we explore the universe as astronomers, we push the limits of our human understanding. We push the limits of our technology. We try to satisfy this curiosity that was always present in human beings. So this field of astronomy, having that interesting overlap between the modern technology, the latest science, but also the cultural aspect of curiosity, of trying to understand, but also having this connection with our ancestors, with people all around the world who have looked up at the skies and wondered what is going on there. So how do you take all these things and help impact society as efficiently as possible? This is the essence of the OAD. This is why the OAD was established. This vision of astronomy for a better world, it is intentionally open and vague because we want to figure out how we can best use some aspect of astronomy to impact on your communities, on your towns, villages, countries, regions. And so the projects and the call for proposals has always been like a core aspect of what the OAD does. And it is with recognition that we, as the staff of the OAD, or the small team we have here in Cape Town, or even with our regional offices, we can't say what's all the different ways that astronomy will impact on society. We need to make it open, and we need your ideas. We need to hear proposals from anyone, anywhere in the world, in terms of how astronomy can be used to make the world a better place. And so this is the core of what the OAD is. The International Astronomical Union has established other offices. We call them our sister offices. The Office for Astronomy Outreach in Japan, the Office of Astronomy for Education in Germany. There's Office for Young Astronomers, and there's a Center for the Protection of Dark Skies. You'll hear more about each of these offices later, but holistically, this forms part of the IAU's broader strategy to impact on all different areas, whether it's education, outreach, or actual development. So with that, just to maybe highlight a few things, you are now entering into this broader OAD family. We welcome you. We're really grateful for your ideas and for your enthusiasm and passion to use astronomy to impact on your communities. This is a partnership, right? We can provide funding and things, but we also want to help figure out if you've got an idea that works really well, we want to like share that with other regions, with other people around the world. At the end of the day, we are learning as well from you. And so let's work together over the period of your project, and see if we can make as big an impact as possible. The OAD is coming up for an external review this year, and we'll be also engaging you again at some point through the OAD's review panel, where they will want to speak to our projects and see, the level of impact that we've been making. So with that, huge thank you to all of you for being part of this, and a really big thank you to Ram and his team for pulling all this together. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kevin. So I will ask the OAD team and the regional officers to just say hello and briefly introduce themselves, turn on the cameras if they can. Charles?
Yep. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Charles Takalana, and I work with OED, and I'm deputy director, and I am also in working with within the partnerships side of things, and this includes bringing in partners that are also key and instrumental in supporting some of the projects, and also in supporting some of the flagship works that we do at the OED. Thanks.
Thanks, Charles. Joy?
Hi, everyone. I'm Joyful Mdluli. I am the flagships coordinator. So I coordinate some of the flagship projects that you might have seen when you're busy completing your application, where it asks you which of these themes it aligns to. And I also assist Ram in some of the communications work. Looking forward to welcoming you all and working with you throughout the year. Thanks.
Thanks, Joy. Dominic?
We can't hear you, Dom.
Okay, is it picking up now? Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Dominic Virtue, and I'm working with the Astronomy for Mental Health. So from creation of resources to implementation.
Okay, just going down the line then, Aza.
Hello everyone, my name is Azasiu. I work on impact evaluation. I'm looking forward to working with you guys in terms of creating your evaluation framework, and yeah, pleasure meeting everyone.
Thank you. And then Zodwa.
Hi everyone, I'm Zodwa Digi, and I work as the operations coordinator for Hack for Dev. So we are under flagship 3 of the OAD, which is focused on astronomy for skills development. I'm happy to meet everyone and hear about your projects.
Great. And we have one more person, Nuha Solomon, who's not here in the office today. So she manages all our administration and logistics. I'm looking for any of our regional officers. If any of our regions are here, please identify yourself. Just go through the list quickly. Yeah, I don't think I see anyone. We have 11 regional offices. I'm sure you've seen it on the website. The point of the regional offices is to contextualize astronomy for development, for their region, for their country, and so on. Because our mandate is so broad that we realize that things work differently in different places for various reasons. So we rely on our regional offices when it comes to developing and adapting approaches and content to specific to different parts of the world. Let me see the program quickly. So now it's time for introductions by the project teams. I am going to try and use the list of projects that I have. I think this is organized by alphabetical order according to your project abbreviation. So the first name I have on the list is Artemis Net Starlight Bridges in Greece. If you're here, Greta, yeah.
Yes, hello. Hello, Ramasamy. Hello, all of you. It's a great honor for us in Greece to have been accepted as one of the funded projects for 2026. We really can't wait to start working. We've already done this, to start working with OAD and, of course, all the other projects that are connected with astrotourism. So our project is astrotourism, a community astrotourism implemented in a very, very nice place in Greece, in Karpenisi, which unfortunately faces demographic problems and economic problems due to the contemporary way of life. We're very glad to be part of your community and work with you.
Thank you for the quick introduction. The next one I have is Astro for All, Astronomy for All in Egypt. Do we have Al-Shaima?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Al-Shaima. I am working at Cairo University. I started to do outreach and trying to use astronomy for development when I had my daughter. She was 3 years old. And they asked me at her kita to give a kind of presentation or a workshop for kids about lunar phases. She was 3.5 years old, and I thought she's very young. But I was surprised that the kids, the toddler, they after I finished my workshop, they started to ask me, and then later my daughter looked up at the sky and told me, "Mom, see, now we have a full moon." So I figured out we can use astronomy to make the kids look up at the sky, and they ask ourselves about the nature about around themselves. And then I introduced myself at Montessori tools philosophy, which also encouraged the kids to use material that is sustainable and they can be used several times. And then I started more to go in deep with kids, and I went to a school where the kids are with the disability, with Down syndrome, and I found that they wanted to know more about science, and especially the girls. So I started to work more with them by using astronomy. I hope I didn't speak very long, but this is the idea of my project. And I'm very grateful and honored to be with you and to work with you and to know more about the other projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think this might be our first project targeting children with Down syndrome for sure. The next one is AstroDev SA, Astrotourism in South Africa. Monique?
Hi everyone. Sorry, my camera's not turning on for some reason, so you're gonna just have to listen to my voice. Good to meet you all. So the AstroDev SA project, we're aiming to train community-based astrotourism guides to give them the scientific grounding and storytelling tools and different practical resources so that they can create meaningful world-class experiences rooted in their own landscape and cultures. So not something that's authentic to the area that they are working in and sort of trying to earn a living from. We're focusing on Northern Cape and the Karoo as our areas to strengthen the science literacy and Indigenous sky knowledge in that area. And our main sort of intention is to build and ensure that there's a sustainable local tourism livelihood for them. So it's a small sort of scalable project. So if we get it right, we're going to aim to train 20 to 30 astro tourism guides. But if we get the model right, hopefully roll it out to bigger and different regions throughout the country and possibly the world. So yeah, that's us.
Thank you, Monique. Next, we have Astro G, Indigenous Astronomy and Climate Adaptation in Southern Zambia, Jaiv Lubungu.
Thank you so much, Namusami. Thank you, Govenda, for that introduction that you gave us regarding OAD. I would like to appreciate OAD for having considered our project, which is titled Indigenous Astronomy in Climate Change Adaptation among the people of Gwembe Valley in Southern Province, Zambia. This is an area that is located 900 plus kilometers from Kabwe, where we are located. And our project really focuses on the communities in Gwembe. Gwembe Valley has been affected over the years in terms of the climate variability, which actually affects rain-fed agriculture, including the fishing livelihood and food security. And these places that we have chosen, basically three wards that have limited access to meteorological services. And that means that indigenous knowledge systems still remain central to their decision making, especially when it comes to agriculture among the Tonga people of that particular area. Of course, historically, these are people who have been guided, who have guided themselves through indigenous knowledge, through predictions in terms of the rainfall patterns and basically in the agricultural planning and the environmental stewardship. So the knowledge that they have used actually remains undocumented and unutilized for formal climate adaptation framework. So our aim is that we want to strengthen the climate change adaptation through this documentation, validation, and application of indigenous astronomical knowledge, of course, alongside with climatic information. So we are targeting the farmers themselves, the smallholder farmers. And these farmers are a composite of women as well, because women are one of the group that is highly affected by the climate change and the like. So they'll be part of this. And of course, we involve the elders because they are the custodians of cultural and traditions with regard to how they look at the universe and the like. So basically, in this particular area, we involve those stakeholders, and we'll start our study by conducting a baseline surveys in that particular place before we begin the actual project. And we expect that in terms of the outcomes and the like, we expect that we expect improved climate-related decision-making among the people of Gwembe Valley, and of course, strengthening their preservation of indigenous astronomy in that particular area and enhancing their community ownership in terms of adaptation strategies. And of course, this will contribute to resilient livelihoods and inclusive development in that particular area. So our work actually will be aligned to OAD's way of doing things, and of course it will help contribute to sustainable development as we capacity build the members. We intend to create a hub, astronomical hub, that will exist beyond the post project, that will continue to benefit the communities. Otherwise, we'll also have to come up with an OMAC, what we call the Farmers OMAC. That will be a guidebook that will have a lot of guides in terms of astronomical knowledge from the indigenous perspective. Otherwise, briefly, in the interest of time, I think that is what our project is all about. We are 10 of us, the team members, myself, Dr. Jive Lubungu from Kwame Nkrumah University, so much into storytelling and literature. And when you look at astronomy and storytelling, we are very, very much into together. I think I developed this interest when I attended the AGM in South Africa, where I presented papers on how to teach science using the narrative, from the narrative approach. And I learned that astronomy is not just for scientists, but astronomy is for all of us. And that gave me an impetus to get into the field of astronomy. And the team that I have, we have climate specialists within the team, we have astronomers within the team, and the religious aspects within the team, geographers within the team. So it's quite a well-represented team to undertake this particular project. Thank you so much, Ramasa.
Thank you very much. The next one is Black Girls in Physics and Astronomy in Canada. Thelma?
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. Yep, thank you so much. So good morning, good afternoon, greetings where you are. My name is Thelma Achia. I am, by way of trade, I'm a vice principal in Toronto. I also just completed my doctoral studies, and I did research on Black women's experiences in physics and astronomy in Canada, which is what brings me here today. My research kind of indicated quite a few things. The lack of Black women in astronomy and physics in Canada is it's quite outstanding. There is very little research in the area. But according to, I guess it's 2024, that's our most recent Statistics Canada report. It reports zero Black women in the field. And a recent study called Canada Physics Counts reported about 1.2 Black physicists of the entire population of physics, people who are studying, people who are doing research in the area in Canada. So there is a great need for intervention in the way of looking for Black women's representation in physics and astronomy in Canada. So that is where my project jumps off. I am going to work with a team, so another educator, Jumia Zuberi, and a researcher who is working out of York University, Trisha Hilton. And we are doing Black girls in physics and astronomy here in a underrepresented, in an area that's an inner city area of Toronto. And we are doing kind of a three-tier model where we have young participants working with youth leaders. And we are also going to have mentors speak to the girls. We're going to do activities, engage interest through the arts, and also build the youth leadership model so that people who are a little bit older, so they're in their senior years of university senior years of high school and in university, who may not have seen themselves as physicists, are going to work with me. I will do the curriculum design, and they're going to facilitate activities, initiatives for the younger participants who are interested in physics, interested in sciences, interested in the arts. And we're going to work on that engagement model in that way. What else can I say? I'm really excited. I'm honored to have been given this opportunity to work with the team, and it's always inspiring to hear about the perspectives within the astronomy community in particular and how inclusive and open it is. So that is our project. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for that. We do have another Black woman physicist in the OAD. Well, she's there. Dr. Joyful Bluley is a particle physicist. But Thelma, if you have any articles or anything about your research, I'm sure people would find it interesting to read. You can share it in the chat. And the next project is Stars for the Future Community Planetarium in Venezuela. I don't know. Max is here.
Hi.
Maximiliano. Oh, hi.
Hi, I can turn on my camera, so
That's fine. That's fine.
Start. I'm going to introduce. So, hi everyone. I'm excited to introduce Stars for the Future, our project. Our main goal is to build and run a community planetarium in a vulnerable neighborhood in Southwest Caracas, in Venezuela. That neighborhood is Antímano. Essentially, we are putting this community planetarium in elementary school. And essentially, beyond science, we aim to empower the local community and significantly improve the quality of life of our teachers. We're using astronomy as a tool to drive social change, especially targeting UN Sustainable Development Goals, number 4, 5, and number 8. This is a project very important for us because we know that our country is not in the best place right now, but we are actually getting better in a lot of things, especially in this part of the country. So yes, this is our project. Thank you so much for the invitation, and yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much for that. Next one is the East African Astronomical Society workshop. Naftali, Kimani, or anyone from the team? Let's see.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Yes, thank you. Hi, how are you? I'm Naftali, and I will be presenting this on behalf of my team. We are a team that comprises of members from the 5 East Africa countries, that is Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Rwanda. And as you can see from the title of our work, the initial intention was to have an East African Astronomical Society workshop. But with the guidance of OAD leadership, we were able to transform that so that now it became a project that will be empowering young people in the field of astronomy in this region, especially those who are in the postgraduate and early career level, so that we intend to impact them with transferable skills in programming and data science. But beyond that, we want to also sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, please continue.
Oh, yes. So we hope that beyond the science part, we can be able to take them through the entrepreneurship program. And what we are conceiving is that this program should take advantage of the dark skies of East Africa to help build astrotourism related projects and also STEM innovations that take advantage of astronomy toolkits. And the intention is to create a socio-economic transformation using astronomy. Thank you so much. We are honored to be funded in this cycle. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Next one is Eco-Astro BD, nurturing knowledge, creativity, and environmental responsibility through astronomy in Bangladesh. Sheikh Samia.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Okay, good day, everyone. I'm Sheikh Samia Akhtar Sami. I'm a recent high school graduate and I'm the project leader of EcoAstroBD. It's a project based in Bangladesh. So EcoAstroBD actually was created to reduce a gap in access to astronomy and hands-on STEM learning in Bangladesh because in our country, both in even privileged and also in underprivileged regions, opportunities and materials to explore astronomy or STEM hands-on is not really available. And EcoAstroBD wants to provide eco-friendly learning materials, astronomy learning materials for students and teachers, especially from the underprivileged regions, so that we can help them foster their creativity, critical thinking, and also nurture care for the art by building spontaneous care for the environment, because exploring the universe should depend our respect and care for the art. And our team comes from a diverse range of disciplines that reflects our belief that astronomy is a field that connects science, society, sustainability, and human curiosity. And I'm truly honored to get this chance from IAU OAD and the fund to implement this project in our country. And thanks for believing in this vision and also in me, because I was a high school student during the application. So yeah, it was really unimaginable for me that my project would get selected. But yeah, together with my team, we hope to stay fully committed to honoring this trust and delivering this project with utmost responsibility and dedication. Thank you.
Amazing. I think you might be our youngest project leader yet in 15 years. The next one, we move all the way to Mexico, is Ensaname Astronomia. Did I say that right?
Yes, hi, I'm Ana Eli. I'm from Mexico, and the name is Enséñame Astronomía. That means that it's a mixture of words that means that science in language, in Mexican Sign Language, we have a lack of technical and scientific terms in Mexican Sign Language. So this provides a barrier for the community to access the information, and it's like they don't need the science, so they don't create it. So the project aims to create the first set of around 50 signs for these astronomical concepts that lack a sign in Mexican Sign Language. So we are working with the community in discussing these concepts, and they can propose a sign. So we are going to create an online glossary of astronomical terms in Mexican Sign Language. In the call is another team member. I don't know if Abigail wants to say something about it, but if not, I am with the way going on. So that's basically what we are going to do during this year, having these in-person sessions with the VEF community, talking about these concepts, and they can trying to clarify all the concept, and they can have a clearer idea and propose a sign. That these signs will be online, so the VEF community along Mexico can use it or provide another proposal. We will have also videos explaining this concept in Mexican Sign Language, so they can use it as a reference, so they can see if the proposal from our team is good enough, or they can have another idea. So this is something that we're going to do. I'm very happy that we are going to continue this project.
Thank you, Anneli. And then the next person is Eugene Idogbe, whose team will be running the hands-on space science and astronomy training for school teachers in Nigeria.
Okay. Good day, everyone, and I'm honored to be given the opportunity to actually come and talk about my project and the opportunity that I was given to actually be considered, me and my team, for this project. So we'll be handling the hands-on basic space science and astronomy for science school teachers, and I'm the project team lead, and I have my team members. So the challenge there was we noticed that in Makurdi, Benue State of Nigeria, most of the time we have this challenge of outdated pedagogy, that is the curriculum, and we have the idea of limited resources in terms of practical training tools, and that as a result has affected the curiosity and interest of students to actually partake in science related career, particularly the STEM related career. So the idea behind behind the project is to try and have these teachers trained with the right resources that they need to enable them give this the better knowledge and updated knowledge of science through some science basic subjects like physics, mathematics, and computer science, and geography, where we have some aspects of the curriculum related to physics and space science and astronomy. So the idea is to actually teach these teachers so that in the long run, we would expect to see that we have an improved teachers' competency in line with teaching of space science and astronomy to the student, and also to try and see how that can enhance student quality in terms of STEM education, and also in the way of in the long run to actually contribute to sustainable development and space science. It gives room for them go into a particular field of study, and you have that zeal, and then you have the collaboration like the OAD and the partners that comes in to assist, because the idea of the universe and trying to understand it is all about trying to collaborate and also share this information to bring up that curiosity amongst people that are a bit underrepresented in that area, so that they could actually contribute to understanding the universe and also understanding their purpose here on Earth. And so the project, we have team members that are made up of people with grounded knowledge of curriculum design and all that, and people that are also grounded with knowledge of astronomy and space science. Because in my team, me in particular, I'm actually a scientific officer with the Center for Basic Space Science and Activity Center with the National Space Research and Development Agency in Nigeria. So we hope that with this project that we would have this improvement in sustainable development, and we also hope to actually go ahead to monitor the progress of the impact of our project to the teachers as well as the students. So we hope that we would get this work done would be committed in trying to ensure that this project is achieved to the best possible way. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Next project is KAYC Kalau Astronomy Youth Camp in Myanmar, run by Min Zhao Mo. Are you here? Is anyone here from the Myanmar project? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the next one. Right to Sky in Argentina by Facundo Rodriguez and team.
Hi,
Oh, hi.
I'm Carlis. I'm from Right to the Sky, Derecho al Cielo. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for the time. We're representing Derecho al Cielo, Right to the Sky, along with Facundo. We are a project based in Cordoba, Argentina, and we work principal with incarcerated youth at Complejo Esperanza, which is a detention center for minors in the justice system. Our team is interdisciplinary. We have astronomers, psychologists, professors, students of psychology, computer science students, anthropology students. We have so many disciplines here. And our goal is simple, is to use astronomy to restore the rights of the young people in the justice systems. Often these youth or these children are excluded from science and culture in these centers. So we try to change that, hosting workshops inside the facility, inside the institution, and taking them in a field trips to the observatory that is here in Cordoba, which is like another phase of the project. We focus on training our team, holding interactive workshops, organizing scientific excursions, building public awareness to change how society see and view these children and youth people in the justice system. We believe that looking at the sky, we can open doors and we can open the minds with this, and every child, no matter their circumstances, has the right to the sky, and even us. I think that this is like a project that we can use for challenge a little bit the incarcerated system and work with these young people. I don't know, Paco, if you have something to add.
Oh, I thank you, Carly. Amazing presentation, and thank you all the people for share the project. It's a pleasure for us to share this panel with all the amazing project. Not only to say that this is start in Cordoba, because some people that work with young girls in confinement approach to us to ask if we start to work with the sky, because in general they had at that moment little space to see the sky, and was not able for these girls see the sky, because are in the middle of the downtown of the city, and it was problematic for the institution to contact with the neighborhood in the area. And we start that trying to fight between the prejudice with the young people that are in confinement. And this project started 10 years ago in that way, and then evolve and grow up, and now we are working with a big group of young, and with a big group in our workshops. I think that only that. Thank you.
Thank you both for sharing. This is definitely one of the unique project proposals that we received. We funded a project in Nigeria that worked with prisoners, but never with young people in confinement. So we're definitely looking forward to this. And then the next one is bridging the gap between high school and university science. I don't know who's here from the team. Dimakatsu, I think, said is not available. Is there anyone else from the team?
Dimakatsu is here as a
Is here.
participant. Yeah.
Good
Someone is here.
afternoon. I'm here on behalf of Dimaka. So she did say that she's not gonna be able to make it. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mudira Mokaila, and I'll be part of Dimakato's team we're gonna be looking at bridging the gap between high school and university science. The whole point of this, it's gonna be in the form of video. I'm sorry for that. Can everyone? Oh, hi everyone. So the whole point of the project will be to bridge the science between high school and university science through astronomy or a little bit of space science there and there. So it's gonna be like an undergraduate winter school program where now it will be structured to introduce undergraduate science students to basic programming, your data analysis and scientific communication using astronomy as a gateway discipline. And then the whole point is to not necessarily only undergraduate students. The target is not only undergraduate students that are looking to do astronomy as a postgraduate or to continue in a career path of astronomy or astrophysics, but the main thing is to just equip students or equip participants with basic coding or Python programming using astronomy dataset. We also plan to use a little bit of astrophysics and space sciences datasets. So yeah.
No, thank you so much. The next one is stars offering hope using astronomy. That's in Uganda by Auto Trust and team. Let's see if it's here. Is there anyone from the Soho team? No. Okay. Next one is South Chile, from Chile by Marcela Best.
Yeah, can you see me? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Hi everyone. My name is Marcela. Our project is named Siguiendo la Cruz del Sur. The idea is that most of the benefits that astronomy gives to Chile, because we have a lot of telescope power here, is mainly concentrated in the capital city, Santiago, and in the north of the country, which is in the Atacama Desert, where most of the telescopes are. So our project aims to decentralize that a bit, bringing astronomy to different regions of the country. This is a southern region of Chile, which is called Aysén. And that is basically our project, Siguiendo la Cruz del Sur. We have here also Caro, who is from that region, who's connected also. And yeah, basically that's our aim is to bring that the activities and workshops that are happening mainly in Santiago to this part of the region, and we hope that this project can inspire other projects and maybe future editions of the project to bring it forward to different regions of Chile, so that everyone can benefit from astronomy. Yep.
Perfect, thank you. The next project is Starry Safaris in Tanzania, Astrotourism in Tanzania by David Tan. I saw David earlier.
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Just
there you
joined
are.
back. So this project is on behalf of MMAO, the Mount Meru Astronomical Observatory. This observatory has operated in Tanzania for the past 10 years, and a lot of our work so far has been education focused. We've trained up tens of astroscience ambassadors who have started their own astroscience clubs in various local schools. But we don't yet have a way to make the educational work that we do economically sustainable, financially sustainable. So one of the hopes that we have is to create an astrotourism program. And this observatory, by the way, is based right in the center of the Serengeti and Mount Kilimanjaro. So there's a whole lot of people that we can capture just nearby with absolutely beautiful skies. And by doing so, we will also be creating more income opportunities for economically disadvantaged young people. Our astroscience ambassadors are identifying students who come from these economically disadvantaged backgrounds, and they will be invited to participate in our program as the stargazing guides. So that will be, yeah, I think I'll keep it at that.
Thanks, David. So we're down to the last couple of projects. The next one is Sibonelo Voice project in South Africa, Stellar Integrated STEM Awareness and Innovation Program. Sibonelo.
Yes, hello,
Yeah.
people.
Hello.
Yes, my name is Sibonelo Voi from South Africa. So our project is the Stellar Integrated STEM Awareness and Innovation. So there are two parts to this project. One is the STEM awareness, and the other one is the innovation program. So basically, our idea was born when we firstly read about the issue of waste management in space. So it is mostly on space science rather than on astronomy. So when we read about the issue that the NASA is facing when sending astronauts on long duration missions, that they have to store the waste on board and then they dispose of it when they re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. So we figured, what if there was a way to convert this energy? Let us convert this, we call it energy, but let us convert this waste into energy. So we figured that idea can not only be applied on space, it can also be applied here on Earth, especially on rural areas in South Africa, since we are facing the issue of load shedding. So what we are going to do is we are going to develop a working prototype that is designed to convert waste into energy. And it is what we are going to use for the second part of our project, which is the STEM awareness. So we are working with a group of professors. We have Professor Amir Mohammadi, which is in chemical engineering. We have a PhD student in physics. We have cybersecurity, which will also be working with us. And then we also, on the mechanical side, we have a technical signatory who is working as a metrologist who will be helping us a lot on the mechanical side. So yes, we are going to be turning waste into energy. Thank you so much.
Great. And then the last project in my list, my alphabetical list, is STEM KSM, Inspiring STEM Engagement through Astronomy Programs in Kenya. That will be by Boniface Ndinya and their team. Boniface, are you here?
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Boniface has some challenge. I'm Bernard Rapando Wahu, Senior Lecturer, Department of Physics, University of Science and Technology. And Boniface Boniface is our lead of the project. I'm the deputy lead. Our project is entitled Inspiring STEM through the support of astronomy programs in primary schools in Kisumu County, Kenya. And Kenya to competence-based education system, which emphasizes on skills. And most aspects of this new education system are on astronomy, right from pre-primary to junior secondary, to senior school, up to the university. Now, because the system is still new, actually the learners have no idea of what to expect in this STEM area, and the teachers are ill prepared. So we are here to thank the OAD so much for granting us this, this project, because it's going to go a long way to empower STEM and astronomy in primary schools. We have chosen primary schools so that the skills are well engraved. So we are going to reach about 20 schools, and in those 20 schools, we are going to reach about 1,000 learners so that they can observe the skies and storytell. And we are going to establish clubs, astronomy clubs in those schools. We also intend to equip the teachers through workshops. We have scheduled about 2 workshops. Actually, the program has already been rolled out and we are already running. We thank you so much.
Great. I think that's all of the projects. So we're funding 18 projects this year. Well, the IAU is funding 13 of them, and then the remaining projects are being funded by DARA, which is the Development in Africa through Radio Astronomy project. So that's the end of our first hour, and now I will call Naomi from the IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach so that we can now learn about what the different IAU offices and centers do. Naomi,
Hello,
over to you.
everyone. Thank you, Ram. Hello, everyone. Congratulations to the teams that have been awarded the grants. We look forward to all the work they're going to do. I'm Naomi Asabri Frimpong, and I'm the Deputy Director for the IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach, and I'm here to tell you a bit more about what we do at the OAO. So the mission of the IAU is to promote and safeguard the science of astronomy. And one of the aspects that it focuses on is communication. And one of the strategic goals and plans for the IAU in general is to engage the public and give them access to astronomy through astronomical information and communication of the science of astronomy. And that's where the Office for Astronomy Outreach comes in. And we are an office that was established as a joint venture between the IAU and the National Astronomical Observatories of Japan to help promote astronomy and make astronomy accessible to everyone through access, communication, and cooperation. And we are located at Mitaka, Tokyo in Japan. So I'm talking to you now from Japan, and it's like 10, 11 p.m. here. So it's quite late for me, but I'm happy to meet you all and tell about what we do. So we have global themes that we do all year round to make astronomy accessible. And one of the themes is women and girls in astronomy. And we have themes that we hold every year. Last year, we had a wonderful time. We're celebrating women in solar physics in honor of the solar maximum. And this year is women in astrobiology. So we promote gender inclusive astronomy outreach starting from the International Day of Women and Girls from February all the way to March, and then throughout the year. We encourage people globally to hold events that promote gender inclusive astronomy. We also have Dark and Quiet Skies. We have projects to promote the Dark and Quiet Skies message to raise awareness about the need to preserve our dark and quiet skies. Through this project, people get to learn about the importance of dark quiet skies for our human culture, for our heritage, and our health as well. And also the importance of dark and quiet skies for astronomy research. We also have our flagship project, the 100 Hours for Astronomy, which is held for 4 days in October. It's 100 hours around the clock, around the globe celebration of astronomy engagement aimed at making people, giving people access to astronomy as much as possible, from children to senior members, senior people, communities, underdeserved communities, well-funded communities. Everyone is invited to be part of the celebration through and like appreciation of our night sky and the wonders of astronomy. And so we do this by we create access through all these programs, and we have many others that, such as we do inclusive events to promote inclusive astronomy, inclusive science, and to promote science engagement and science astronomy, science communication all around the world. And we do this through our national outreach coordinators, who are people selected from different countries. They represent their country and their communities. They help us to make astronomy accessible in their community in a way that is accessible to their community. And so we call them NOCs, and they are for us the way to make astronomy communication accessible to everyone. And the NOCs are found everywhere. We have over 400 NOCs in our 120 plus countries. And Africa has around 29 countries, so we're really proud about that. And they are working actively to meet the UN sustainable goals, such as gender equality, quality education, decent work and economic growth, industry, reduce inequalities, and make sustainable cities and communities. And so we invite you. Sorry.
Naomi, did you mean to share your screen?
Am I sharing my screen?
No.
No, it's okay. I didn't mean to share my
Okay.
screen.
Okay.
If I share my screen, I might take too much time. So this is something small about the oil. We really do a lot. We do also professional astronomy communication, where we're designing literature and work and framework to help people communicate astronomy in their communities and in their countries. So this is a little bit about the OL. You are welcome to join the NOCs team. Please email me or email us on our official email. Go to our website. We have amazing things there to learn more about the OL. And once again, welcome everybody to the OAD and and congratulations on your projects.
Thank you so much for that, Naomi. Does anyone have questions? Are people already involved in the OAO's network and activities, or do you have any questions for Naomi? Okay. If not, we'll go to the next office. Thanks again, Naomi. So the next office is, center is the IAU Center for the Protection of Dark and Quiet Skies, the IAU CPS. I actually don't see anyone from CPS. Okay, I don't see anyone from CPS. Shemiso, are you ready to go by any chance?
Yeah, I was about to ask, does this mean I go, Ellie?
Yes, please. Thanks.
Yes, I actually have slides, so so that I don't forget anything, and I hope I do not take long. I have about 10 minutes right now, Ram.
Yeah.
I plan to use on every minute that I have allocated to me, so please be patient with me. Oopsie. Ram, please let me know if you see my slide.
Yeah, I see it.
And I'm just gonna make it full on slideshow.
I don't see the slideshow. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I think I have downloaded the wrong slides. So I apologize. I need to get my new slides. Sorry about that, Ram.
No problem. So while she gets the slides, do people have any questions for the OAD? Any reflections on the projects that were shared in the last hour? And I see that a few other people have joined now. I did see Peter, who is one of the OED reviewers. Do you want to say hello, Peter?
Wait just a second to actually switch on things.
Yeah.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. I've only managed to get in at some point, so I missed the first few one. So I'm Peter Kretschmer. I'm working at the European Space Agency as mission manager, which means basically main responsible for one of our science mission, XMM Newton. But I'm trying to, as much as I manage, to support this work by the OAD, because I think it's a very valuable effort, and my congratulations to all of those who made it, because it's also a very competitive effort nowadays, I have to say. There's lots of proposals coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. I also see Sally and Roger Dean. Oh, I did see you just now. If you just want to say hello, unless Jamisa, are you ready?
Not yet, but in a minute.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Roger Dean. I'm the director of IDEA, which is the INSEE University Institute for Data Intensive Astronomy. I don't know if you want me to show a few slides later. I could do that.
Yeah, later. Yeah, when we come to the partner section. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Sally, I see you as well. You can't hide. Okay.
Ram, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's the
So take two,
2026.
everyone else. Hi, everyone. I am Tsiami Sovakwela, and I work for the OAE. Oh, my slides are changing quicker than I speak. Okay. Wow. I work for the Office of Astronomy for Education, which is based in Heidelberg in Germany. And my slides are moving faster than I am, and I'm going to try and move a little bit back. So the OAE is the Office of Astronomy for Education, focused on primary and secondary schools only. So the work of the OAE does not necessarily include education or astronomy education at university level, but we are rather focused in astronomy education happening at school level, so supporting students and teachers at that level. So the OAE runs after 5 main objectives, one which is to support the professionalization of astronomy education. And this is not just professionalizing astronomy for teachers, but also for astronomers who are actually trying to work in education. And we're doing these things through our Shore IAU workshops, which we host every year, through the teacher training, which I'll speak a little bit about, some community standards which are related to teacher training, and the OAE reviews that we're working on. And our second objective is to try and make sure that educators can find excellent resources that they can use in their teaching, use in their classrooms, that can aid their teaching as well. And we're also working towards supporting the inclusion of astronomy in curricula. And we're doing this through our astronomy education research initiatives. And we are also working very hard on growing and maintaining our network of associates. And we are doing this through having national astronomy education coordinators, OAE centers and nodes globally, as well as having other volunteers that join our community. And we always try by all means to make sure that every stakeholder is informed by the things that we're working on. We have mailing list, IAU announcement, and I can talk a little bit more about how you can join some of our mailing lists. So this is the stuff of the OAE, which is somehow based at HADIA, which is House of Astronomy at MPIA. It is based in Germany, as I've mentioned, in that spiral galaxy shape. That's where HADIA is, and therefore that's where the OAE is at. We have Marcus and Carolyn, the director and deputy director of the office based in Heidelberg, as well as Neil and Simon Cruz, who's working on secondary schools. Eduardo Penchado is one of our coordinators who's based in Brazil, and I'm based in South Africa as one of the astronomy education researchers, and Samantha Brown is also based in Heidelberg. And we also have some of our associates, Asmita, Sophie, and Sahid, who are also somewhere around the world, but we're working together in making sure that we can reach the objectives of the OAE. And we have Gwen, who's our organizational assistant. We call Gwen the glue that holds everything together, because the first point of contact that you'll have mostly with the OAE is through Gwen. And if you need more information about the OAE, Gwen is probably the one to give you the best information. So the OAE currently has 7 centers and nodes, and we have our 3 nodes being in Nepal, in South Korea, as well as in Paris, and our 4 centers being the one in Enaf in Italy, one Nairaj in Egypt, one in India, as well as in Beijing. So the centers and nodes run independently, or rather together with the OAE, but independently in their countries with different focus areas as well. I've already mentioned our NIACs, our National Astronomy Education Coordinators. We currently have 356 NIACs from 119 countries. So as you can see that our map there is mostly green, meaning that we at least have presence in most countries at the moment. If there's anyone who is from any area that's gray on the map, please reach out to us and find out how you can join our network of astronomy education coordinators. Okay. So we have some basic resources that we host on our OAE website, or that we are working towards having on our OAE website. We have the multilingual glossary, and this multilingual glossary was developed through a sprint in 2021, where we really called upon the community of astronomy education, astronomers, astronomy education practitioners, and other people such as astronomy teachers that are working in the field, who came together to find what are the most important concepts in astronomy that primary and secondary school children need to know about. And therefore, that's where the multilingual glossary came about. So it is really more than just giving a definition of something, but also making sure that the way in which something is defined also has some educational value and has some teaching value. So we have this multilingual glossary hosted on our website at the moment. I think the Italian translation is almost done, as well as the German translation at the moment. If you want to get involved with that, please let us know. We also have a lot of basic images and illustrations that we've been collecting, and some of them we've collected through the IAU OAE Astrophotography Contest. Some of them have been developed in-house by some astronomers who are working on different parts, such as exoplanet science. They've actually shared resources that can also be valuable for teaching. And we have all of these things sort of like as a way to support our glossary items, but also that could serve as an astronomy teaching starter kit as well, which are hosted on our website. We are currently working on making sure that these are, at least each item that we have in the glossary has some image. And all of these things are going through rigorous review, just like they would in any scientific journal. So each and every translation, each and every image has gone through review, as well as its translation. And we're also currently working on consolidating our resources but based on topics, and we're going to call them OAE reviews. Currently, we have an OAE evaluation review on our website that's available, that you can see what we are working on. And we have even more things within our website, one of them being the Astro EDU platform, which is a portal for classroom activities for both primary, secondary school, even university students actually have some activities based on our Astro EDU platform. And, you know, if you have activities that you have also developed, you can always also submit them through the Astro EDU platform. But again, because we are a group of scientific community, everything goes through review. So each and every activity that is being submitted goes through some peer review, looking for, pedagogical affordances, as well as scientific accuracy in each and every activity. And this is really working with a really big group of people and some people from Commission C1 as well. And at the moment, we do have some different languages that can be so activities can be submitted in different languages on Astra EDU at the moment, and there's an AI tool that has been that Livia and the team, Livia is the chief and editor, have been working on. So if you've never heard about Astra EDU, this is your chance to go through it and see if there are some things that you can learn from it. There's also Big Ideas in Astronomy that we are currently hosting. This is a project that we inherited from the University of Leiden, but now is hosted on our platform at the OAE. And at the moment, we have really moved it forward, and it exists in multiple languages as well. And thanks to our community that has actually helped us in making sure that we can get there. I've said something about the glossary, and this is just a word map rather of how far we've come. We really are working towards making sure that this could be completed. And one of our flagship programs at the OAE, or the only one where we actually have funding to give to people for, is through the teacher training program, which is currently working as a once-off seed funding for local teacher training programs that are hosted based on the local context, based on the local needs of the people there. So the recipients are selected by review panel, which I lead, and each organizing team rather needs a national astronomy education coordinator, an astronomer, as well as a local teacher. So one of the strengths of this TTP program is on the fact that it is really based on the local needs and the local context. We are not necessarily measuring how amazing your TTP is, but rather the kind of impact it has in the community that you're hosting it in. Currently, the TTP is running, the TTP helped us in piloting the OAE teacher training transparency standards, which are based on where the key aspects of the standards are really rooted in transparency, with the aim of sharing the best practices on astronomy teacher trainings, rather than actually offering a prescription on what to do during teacher training, but rather trying to encourage people to be transparent about the choices they make when creating a teacher training, whether pedagogical, resource, or content-wise, just making sure that that is actually explicit to share with other people. The role of the TTP is, I think I'm left with about 2 minutes, Ram. Yes, okay. So I'm just going to speak a little bit on the role of the TTP program and, why we developed it at the OAE. So, one of the main things that we are trying to do, especially from the point of the organizers, is to make sure that we connect their expertise. In most cases, we've seen that when we speak about teacher trainings, it always looks like an astronomer who's more knowledgeable comes in, gives a talk to the teachers, and goes away. So we wanted the model of a TTP to be really a moment of shared expertise, or rather something that's about shared expertise. So our astronomers coming with the content, our teachers bringing the pedagogy, and our National Astronomy Education Coordinators coming with the experience that they have working with communities. And we think that that shared experience is quite key in making sure that we have effective and impactful teacher training programs. And we hope that, they are able to provide some practical and hands-on trainings tailored to the local context. I mean, a few months ago, I saw the eclipse and I looked at the moon and it was upside down, and I realized this was the moon that I was taught in when I was in school. And we are trying to make sure that these sort of things do not continue happening, which is why tailoring a TTP in the local context is quite important. And we also want to support the creation of community of practices where teachers know who to go to for questions of things they don't understand in astronomy, and who to ask for resources or how to use those resources in their classrooms as well. So we see the TTP as more than just a once-off event that happens then and teachers come together, but rather as an ongoing project where, you know, even if we don't have money yet to continue supporting projects, but we see it as something that could be ongoing. But we know that the ultimate goal is to make sure that our teachers are inspired so that our learners can also be inspired. Oopsie. Sorry about that. These are some pictures from the TTPs, and I can talk about them a lot. Since 2022, we have supported at least 80 teacher training programs. We started this project in 2022 till 2025. We've supported at least 80 TTPs, and we hope to support a little bit more this year if there is funding available. And also, I've mentioned that every year we host the Shaw IAU workshop. This year, it will not be the Shaw IAU workshop, but rather a different name because the Shaw Foundation is not supporting us this year. Again, money issues. It's important to attend Genevieve's session on Friday on fundraising. But you know, the Shaw workshop is one of the things where we've reached out to many participants. Last year, we've had 800 participants coming from 98 countries. And we have different topics every single year, and we'll be announcing the dates for the workshop this year. We've also hosted regional meetings, which is kind of like a smaller version of the Shaw IAU workshop where we have at least between 20 to 40 participants from different regions coming together and having this experience of, you know, of shared experiences in context, in language, as well as in culture. You know, we had the one in Argentina for the Southern American region, one in Turkey, we had one in South Africa for the African region, one in Nepal for the Asian region. We had Middle American, Panama, and we had the Mediterranean region hosted in Egypt, which was last year, December. With more funding, we hope we can do more of these activities. The other project that we are currently working on is an international capacity building in astronomy education research project, which we call iCare. It is currently in preparation. Last year, we did the first legwork of this study, and we hosted an astronomy education research meeting in Heidelberg in October 2025. And this is led by myself, Samantha Brown, Marcus Posel, as well, Magdalena Kesting. And you will hear a lot more about it soon because we will need more input from our astronomy education and research and outreach and everyone in Commission 1 to help us in this. And for the people who are doing projects and running in projects, we have an OAE evaluation framework and toolkit, which could be the first point of contact if you want to know what are some of the tools that you can use in evaluating your activities, depending on what you want to evaluate, what you want to look at. You know, if it's impact that you want to look at, there are some tools that you can look at, and this is based on the toolkit that one of our associates, Sophie Bartlett, created, and it is available on our OAE website. I'll post the link on the chat, and you can look through it in terms of seeing and getting some inspiration in terms of what you want to do. And I think that's it from me. If you need more information, please let us know, reach out to us in any way, and I'll also put in some details about some of our projects in the chat. Thanks, Ram.
Yeah, thanks, Shenisa. Before we move on to the next one, any questions about the OAE, Office of Astronomy for Education?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. When she was showing the screen, I found two neighboring country in the north list. OAEs like India and Nepal. I want to ask if we want to have not in Bangladesh. How to register for that or how to do these things.
Yeah. So currently we have NIACs in Bangladesh, but we do not have a node in Bangladesh yet. And so, you know, so we have a call every couple of years where organizations can apply to host an OAE center or node. So the last call was out last year, and I think we're in the process of announcing the new centers and nodes for this round. But we do have an open call where people can actually submit a letter of intention and tell us what they would intend to focus on as a node or as a center within that region. But currently there are two active, a center in India and a node in Nepal, which are quite active, and we do encourage some collaboration with those as well.
Question from Greta.
It's not a question. I would just like to say that the job that OAA, Astronomy for Outreach, and Office of Education are doing is really great. I've been involved as a NOC in astronomy outreach since 2023, something like that, 21. And now I'm involved also through the various opportunities that astronomy for education, Office for Education gives, and the experience and the opportunities are really great. So would really like to thank you because this advances a lot the astronomy level in Greece, at least, I guess all over the world, of course, but I can speak for Greece. So thank you very much for these opportunities. And now I'm really glad that I'm working also with OAD for these new projects, and where we will try also to combine all the other offices within, so to make the most, very powerful our project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keta.
Jaiv Lubungu, do you have a question?
Yes, please. Thank you, Makwela, for your presentation. Very interesting indeed. I think I'm getting very interested in the OAE projects and the programs that you have. I wanted to find out if you support school clubs that are involved in astronomical activities in the country. For instance, in Zambia, I'm working with one of the school clubs within my vicinity. They are very interested in such. They are involved in so many activities, but they seem to be limited in terms of how much they can do because they lack support. And apart from that, I'm coming from a university where we had only one astrophysicist who has even moved out of that university. And how do we encourage the students to ensure that they continue promoting the agenda for astronomy? So I would like to find out from you if there are any avenues on how we can best promote these activities, especially in Kabwe, Zambia, where the potential is there. In the schools, we have sciences and the STEM activities, but the idea of astronomy seems to be far-fetched, maybe because there is lack of people promoting the way some of us are trying now to come on board through these clubs. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We do have, I think, 2 national astronomy education coordinators in Zambia who have tried to work with some teachers within like different regions. And I think that would be the first point of contact, because we are in contact with mostly the National Astronomy Education coordinators. Currently, like I've already mentioned, we do not necessarily have funds to sponsor projects or programs, but we do and are able to offer support in terms of giving out some resources that we have. So some of the resources that we host and that we have, we are able to send to different parts of the world as they need. One of them was, to the we collaborated with Astronomy Without Borders in sending some of the eclipse classes in some parts where we have our NIAX, and we transported those things there. So we are able to support in terms of giving out the material that we have in different parts of the world, but we do not necessarily have funding. Like, we can't give money to people, to projects, but we can rather offer support at the moment in terms of in terms of resources that we have. So I would like to probably maybe get you in contact with our National Astronomy Education Coordinator and see how we can further support things like that there. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks again, Yumiso and OAE. I see there's another question in the chat, but maybe you can respond in the chat,
Yes,
Yumiso.
I'll respond in the chat.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks for
you.
that. So the next presentation is from the IAU Office for Young Astronomers. Sorry for the delay, it's here, but you're good to
No
go.
problem. No problem whatsoever. Now let me see. Share. I'm going to share my presentation. Okay, can you see my presentation in full screen?
We see it on presenter mode.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Stop sharing. Stop to share. Let's see now. Wait a second. I'm not there yet. Now?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you for inviting me again, Ram, and for everybody's attention. I mean, I know that this is a lot of information from different offices. The Office for Young Astronomers is not one of the first created, but it has the oldest program of all the offices. Its only purpose is to support the international schools for young astronomers. So these are schools that were created in 1967 by the IAU. Typically, there are 1 or 2 schools per year. They rotate around the world, and they give support to students that we consider to be isolated, whether they come because they come from countries which are in astronomy in development, or because they come from very remote groups and are not well linked to their national to their national communities. The layout is a postgraduate school of 3 years, very, very intense. And the lecturers which are invited are lecturers that come from all over the world. The students usually are extracted from the regional area where the school is happening. And typically we try to rotate among continents in order to basically be able to attract the students that are in this situation. So you have here just a few photographs from one of the schools. This is 2024 in Algeria. Just lectures happening, group projects, students working together on research projects, and also, well, just visiting some cultural sites. So, as I said, it's a very intensive program. It's 7 hours per day of school work. That means lecturing and problem solving. There are also hands-on labs, observations, career development workshops, student presentations. The hours are also school time, because we actually ask everybody to just join the lunches and dinners and breakfast so that people can interact not just among the students, but also with the lecturers. And typically there are 2 to 3 hours of homework after all these intense activities. So you can see that there is not a minute spare. Weekends are basically rest time and for tours and relaxing. Really, these have been very successful schools all over the years. So here you can see again lectures, by our then president of the IAU, Edwin van Dishoek, and this is a school in China in 2019. Some discussion on ethics on astronomy, some problem solving among the students. We collect feedback from the students, and we know that the students do value these schools very highly in the development of their careers at the beginning, which is how we are targeting these students. But also 5 years afterwards, we also draw a 5-year feedback report where they can actually give us their perspective of how the program impacted the development of their careers at the very beginning. So benefits which are obvious from these feedback reports is the contact with international lecturers. Often these students might have a good supervisor on one specific topic, but not have access to the rest of current topics in astrophysics. It complements, therefore, its astronomical background. They have access to quality notes. They practice basic bibliographical searches and virtual observatory tools. Often, although not always, they can acquire some in situ observational experience with telescopes. This is one such a case in China. There are workshops on career development and mentoring, just guiding them on how to improve their chances of having a successful career in astrophysics, whether it is finishing their master's, PhDs, and then continuing on research, or devoting themselves to any other activity which is astronomy related, namely outreach, education, or development, as the other offices are focused on. They actually, through these schools, which are 3 weeks and very intense, develop a network of fellow students. And often those links are the ones that are valued the most by the students, feeling that they are not alone, that there are other students in their same conditions coming from countries which are not prime on big resources to do frontline research, but still are doing research. And also we give them awareness of opportunities that they have. And through the mentoring program, we send them announcements about other schools that they can apply to, how to apply for PhD school if they are still in masters, or what other opportunities they may have. So over the years, this is a 50-year view of where we have had some impact. We have had 47 schools. Clearly, I was not there at the very beginning in 1967. I have been in charge of the program for the last 10 years. And more than 1,600 students from 94 countries or regions. And you can here just see a map, a color map of where most of the students have come from. The most highlighted regions are typically regions where a school has been hosted, and each host institution has the right to select at least half of the student population from its own country, which is why we have these pockets. But at the same time, the host institution puts a lot of money into organizing these schools. IAU and the Norwegian Academy of Science and Letters, which fund the Office for Young Astronomers, fund all the travel for students and for lecturers, but the host institutions actually do put all the money to cover the local costs, so housing and food for the school. This is just a small gallery of people that have been alumni of our program, and you can see a range of ages because we really span a big span of time, and some of them might be familiar to you. We have here Nurali Hijawi. I don't know whether this was the Tanzanian astronomer our colleague was referring to, but he has had a lot of impact into pushing for astrophysics at the professional level, at the professional research level in Tanzania, just bringing a lot of students to this program, students that then are pursuing masters and PhDs abroad. Monica Rubio is nowadays one of the vice presidents of the IAU, and she was once upon a time an alumni in our program. As I said, I mean, I can go over this, and in most recent years, we have people like Pranita or like Hira who are actually doing coordination work in their nations for outreach or for education. I have put in the chat the link to to the schools. We have a newsletter. It's an activity that we have recently started, and this basically is a window into the paths that our alumni have had. We usually have two interviews with alumni from different times that can give us well, a taste of what their path has been from starting master's, PhD students in their regions, in their countries, in places where astronomy is not one of the prime focuses of production in research, and how they have developed their careers and what is the situation nowadays. So what is next is our schools in Vietnam in October 2026. We will be in Costa Rica in 2027. We still do not have formal hosts approved for 2028 onwards, so we are very much looking for countries which are interested in hosting one of these schools. We don't bring the full curricula to these schools. We actually work with the local organizers in order to design what is the best program for the region. Usually there are a few fixed topics which are very basic and that are common to all schools, but then there is a lot of viability of other expertise in the IAU and other topics that can be brought to this type of schools. So if you are interested in bringing one of these schools to your country and region, please check the easy organizing conditions. The link, you have it in the chat, and you can email us. This is David Mota, who is the Deputy Director of the International Schools for Young Astronomers, and myself, the Director, and we are just an office of two people. So as you can see, this is our main activity where we are putting all of our effort. So any help, any links that you might have to bring one of these schools to your peers, to your students in your region, that would be great help for the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Itziar and David and Isia, for what you do. I see you already have a question. Greta?
I don't have, one moment. I don't have any question, but I would also like to say to EGR that I'm also an alumni from...
Oh, there you go!
Yes, from the school that was held in Porto, Portugal.
Very good.
It was 1987. It was really a great experience.
Thank you for telling me.
That's amazing. All right. If there are no other questions, then we'll move on to the final part of our program today, which is brief words from our partners. So I have our list of partners here in random order. Just quickly share my screen so everybody can see that. Okay, so I have here first Dara. Is anyone from the Dara project here? Sorry, Joy, if you're able to see the list of participants quickly.
Yeah, I shall check, but I did not see anyone from Dara.
Okay. Second one is Reese. Nandi, I think I saw Nandi earlier.
Yeah, she is here.
All right, I'm here.
Hello.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, there you go.
I have what, 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. I'm just going to share my screen quickly. Please just confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Right. Quickly, my name is Nadim Tetwa. I am an engagement manager at REIS, which is the Research Institute for Innovation and Sustainability. I manage the Africa Earth Observation Program, and I also head up our data science department. And today we are here because of our alignment with our program here. So AOC quickly was born 10 years ago in Pretoria in conjunction with the South African National Space Agency. It started very small with 10 entries, and last year we had a record 223 entries across the entire continent of Africa. So as we have been learning, we have also been wanting to expand our reach and also our impact, which is what we are hoping to achieve with the partnership with OAD. The cornerstone of what we're trying to do, as I said, is embedding impact, and we have 4 pillars that we are looking at. We are looking at investing in young people, so those are the kids, typically aged between 14 to 18 years of age. That would be high school learners. Also looking at making sure there's gender equity. I think I like saying I don't believe in equality, I believe in equity, and I do believe there's extra effort that needs to go towards girls and women. So that is what we prioritize here as well, not excluding men or boys. We are also then looking at integrating the 5 AU regions, African regions in Africa, to make sure that everybody is represented. Typically in these programs, people who have access to laptops and internets are the ones who benefit the most. So here we are looking at reaching those in the rural areas, the peri-rural areas, as well as the peri-urban areas, and also looking at integrating the main languages across Africa and not just reaching out to potential participants in English. So looking at integrating French as well as Swahili for the rest of Africa. For here at home, obviously, that would be isiZulu for Southern Africa. And for each country, we are aiming to integrate at least one main language there. We are aiming to do this through what we call a 5-stage innovation funnel. So this is starting at AOC Junior, where we are planting the seeds early. The second phase is then funneling the kids from that stage to the next stage, which is the post-school pathways. I believe that aligns very well with a lot of the projects that I saw here today, actually, which got me very excited. So guiding and nurturing the emerging seedling, and then the main challenge, which is where we test concepts into viable competitive solutions. So here for us, it's not just important to have ideas, but also to take them from idea stage to actual commercial stage where they could generate money, but also reach the end users that are in the concept when they are begin in the hackathons and all the other competitions. The fourth one is then preparing the plant to bear fruit. So here, understanding that a lot of the ideas are coming from scientific people like me who lack business skills, which is where we are coming in with a curriculum to help to understand how to build a business, make it viable, make it feasible, and make it sustainable. And then the exit point of our funnel is investor readiness. So making sure that participants are not just going through a revolving door of grants from one program to another, but making sure that they are able to grow and thrive on their own and able to give back into the system instead of continuously taking from the system. Delving deeper, how practically we are going to be raising awareness and inspiration in kids. So that's building early curiosity and confidence among school-age learners, making sure that they understand the opportunities, looking up into the sky as well as looking down onto the earth. So making sure that we are creating a feeder pipeline before entrepreneurial intent exists. So here we are just planting the seeds and making sure that they understand all the opportunities that are available to them in the space ecosystem. The second is then providing structured environments for graduates and young professionals to develop their skills, which is where, once again, I got really excited when I saw some of the projects that were presented because they fit in very perfectly with what we are trying to do here. So here we are trying to build capability And the third one is validation and selection. So making sure that the regionalized challenges ensure fairness and they are contextual to the geographical context of where they are, as well as making sure that the problems being solved are actually relevant, are problems that need to be solved, and we aren't just coming up with ideas just for the sake of great science. The fourth one is then testing the viability and adoption. So making sure that the selected ventures are strengthened in terms of their business models, their value propositions, running their pilots with our many partners, and making sure that we reduce that dependence on grant funding. The last one is around scaling and sustainability. So making sure that we exit with mature ventures, mature enough to raise capital, to procure services themselves, and to ensure long-term growth, focusing on them being resilient, making sure that they have the governance structures to thrive on their own, as well as building their credibility to make it easier to invest in them as well.
Sorry, Nandi, we're running out of time. Do you have many more slides?
Okay, no, it's fine. I'll stop here. So I think this was
Okay.
an exciting one for me. It was AOC Junior. We had our first one last year. We had a winner from KwaZulu-Natal, and basically this is where the kids, what you see here, Barrier Free and Smart Guard, are ideas that they came up with. They made prototypes, and this is what the program is aiming to achieve at the AOC Junior phase. I will stop here for the sake of time, but yeah, I'm very excited to get involved and see what the other programs have to offer.
Yeah, thank you very much. If you have questions for Nandi, please do engage with her in the chat, and I'm sure she might also be able to share her contact if you want to follow up later. So just a quick change in the program. Roger Dean needs to leave. So Roger, you can go next.
Great. Thanks very much for accommodating that. Hi, everyone. Can you see my slides?
Yeah.
Right. So thanks. I'm Roger Dean. I'm the new director of the Inter-University Institute for Data Intensive Astronomy. We are a partnership between 3 South African universities, University of Cape Town, University of Western Cape, and the University of Pretoria. And we partner with the national facility, the South African Radio Astronomy Observatory, which is building the Meerkat telescope, has built the Meerkat telescope and is expanding that in Meerkat Plus, and the key partner in the SKA project. The SKA project is really the big project on the horizon for us, and IDEA was really formed as a response from the universities to build data-intensive expertise and computational infrastructure that will prepare us for this era with the tremendous data volumes that we'll be facing once the SKA is in operation. I think, as many people will know, this is a huge global effort with many partners, member countries around the world, and a sizable African footprint through the African partner countries, as you can see there. So yes, so it was launched just over 10 years ago, and really around developing capacity in data-intensive science. We run the computational infrastructure that we run it's the Lufu cluster. It's over 4,000 CPUs, quite a huge amount of RAM, 30 terabytes. That's because radio astronomy is very, very RAM intensive, particularly in the imaging and calibration process. And then our total storage footprint at the moment is about 14 petabytes, going up fairly soon. And something that we're proud of is that this was designed in-house by our Associate Director for Technology, and it's hosted here at the University of Cape Town in a data center here. The key point here is that you can use a really, really sizable chunk of high-performance compute, but through your browser. So it's accessible. It makes this, lowers the barrier to entry for even young graduates, young undergraduate students, where they're just interfacing this through a browser. And it also means that we can spin up a whole lot of compute for dedicated workshops and stuff, which I'll return to later in the presentation. We are very much geared towards, as I say, the SKA, and this key step towards that is Meerkat data processing, the Meerkat radio telescope. And at the moment, we have almost 500 astronomy users, we also support bioinformatics. So I think it's a good demonstration of multidisciplinary software support on the African continent. We have a big international footprint as well. We support an institute in every single SKO member country, and we also support half the African, at least one individual in on Meerkat data processing in the African out of the African partner countries. So to date, we have supported over 360 astronomy students and about 135 bioinformatics students, and a sizable contingent, probably about half of the Soreo burses are supported by IDEA in some form. This is just a slide showing that support is going to have to increase substantially, because if you look at the growth of the number of papers coming out of Meerkat, I think you can easily argue that this is exponential. We're at the point now where there's a Meerkat paper coming out every sort of 24 hours, if you look at the statistics from 2026. And about 30% of those, and I think growing, are supported by IDEA technology and support in some way. So this is really sort of only just taking off. One of the key things that IDEA has done in the last 10 years is really invest in what I would say is world-leading visualization technology. I think Carter has become probably the default, certainly in radio astronomy, for visualizing large-scale images that on remote high-performance compute infrastructure, where you can easily and quickly load up huge images and interact with those in very sophisticated ways. So there are over there are thousands of global users. Another thing we do in-house is this virtual reality interaction with large data sets. And this is featured in a very prominent South African TV show, Carte Blanche, featured this technology not long ago. What's very relevant to this audience is, we use this, as I alluded to earlier, we use the LIFU infrastructure and our support staff to support a wide range of workshops, and have hosted these across the African continent, not just for radio astronomy, but for a whole wide range of broader data-intensive research skills. And so these are a couple of slides from our Associate Director for Development and Outreach, Sally McFarlane. Just talking about that cycle of, we have fantastic science results coming out, and if you look at our homepage, you'll see a press release that came out just a few hours ago by one of our young scientists who's just discovered the most distant OH megamaser. We inspire people, we train them for the technical skills, and we have principal investigators as part of the IDEA team, and through that empower them to deliver these kinds of results, or empower them to enter some other industry with these sort of advanced analytical skills and computational skills that they've developed as part of one of our workshops, for example. So there's a whole host, a huge program that Sally's office has put together in really making impact in this area, which I don't really have time to cover in a lot of detail with the time allocated. But IDEA has been acknowledged for this. Just a couple of years ago, it won what was termed the Fourth Industrial Revolution Award. At our sort of South Africa has these annual, what are referred to colloquially as the Science Oscars, and these are the NSTF South 32 awards that IDEA won a special category of just a couple of years for basically that mix of expertly run computational infrastructure, tailored software and technical support, and then as well as the development and outreach arm to this, in deploying that in strategic ways that really make impact. So we're building towards the SKA, seeking to be one of the SKA science regional centers in partnership with the South African Radio Astronomy Observatory, but looking at a whole host of synergetic and commensal development and outreach goals towards that, in building up digital skills and in developing young people to develop these technical skills, and seeking to connect universities, national facilities, and key international stakeholders towards those goals. So thank you very much. Happy to take questions if there's time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Roger. I think I'll ask people to add any questions in the chat since we are running a bit late. So the next partner is the African Astronomical Society. Amare, I don't know if you can hear us. I saw you trying to connect.
Yeah, can you see me?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
All right, cool. Okay, I will also share my brief slides. Let's see. So yeah, thanks for inviting me to give an overview of AFAS and its activities. There's a long history between AFAS and OAD. As you can see, AFAS was the initial idea to launch an African Astronomical Society, a Pan-African astronomical body was in 2011, and that had something to do with the IAU Africa Planning Meeting in South Africa. And between 2017 and 2018, it was AFAS restructuring happened, and that was largely due to the OAD. And in 2019, AFAS was, its secretariat was established in Cape Town, hosted by the South African Astronomical Observatory. And from then on, it has been actively engaging the African astronomical community, astronomy community to play its role in terms of being the voice of astronomy in the continent, and to make sure that Africa plays its part in terms of knowledge production and dissemination on the terms of astronomy. Some of its strategic priorities include, building capacity across the continent, advocating astronomy's role in development, which OAD is for, and enabling collaboration and policy influence across the continent. In terms of its governance structure, it has an executive committee, which has a president, a vice president, young astronomer representative, and general members, and then it has also committees, subcommittees, like we have science committee, outreach and education committee. We have women in astronomy, membership, fundraising, communication, and we also have some special projects. So if any one of you in the audience would like to participate and you are not already part of the African Astronomical Society, please contact us, and we'd like you to contribute in our efforts in making sure astronomy becomes a tool for development on the continent. I'm not going to say much really about what AFAS is doing in detail, but all I can tell you is that there's some certain initiatives we are trying to use to make sure that astronomy becomes a tool for development for Africa, and that comes in the form of, for example, seed grants, research grants for early career researchers, like what OAD is doing for those of you who receive the grants for the respective projects. And we also have outreach projects across Africa, and we also organize schools. For example, PASEA, the Pan-African School for Emerging Astronomers. This is one of the activities that we are hosting at the Northwest University, where I'm based, this year. And if some of you haven't heard about it, a call will come out soon, and you are welcome to apply for that school. ASIA has been mentioned already. There is also this other schools, workshops, hackathons, and news networks that AFAS is trying to support with the limited resources that it has. And of course, empowering the next generation, including young scientists and up-and-coming future astronomers in schools, engaging the public and citizen science, women, especially given that, historically, women have been very much underrepresented, not only in Africa, but globally as well. So these are some of the things that AFAS is trying to engage in. This is just to show you one of the outputs of the African women in astronomy in the form of a book, Women in Astronomy in Africa. book that was published a few years back. That was part of the AFAS initiative, but specifically the Women Network under AFAS. You might recall IAU GA was one of the defining moments for astronomy in Africa, in the sense that Africa, in particular South Africa, has demonstrated that we can also host large events like the IAU, where close to 3,000 scientists attended, about 800 of those from 28 African countries. So that kind of shows some kind of African excellence in terms of scientific organizing and scientific leadership as well. So yeah, I will make it short, not to mention too many things, but in the form of memberships, for those who want to be members, we have several categories of memberships: full memberships, associate memberships, student memberships, honorary memberships. We have members now from across the globe. I don't remember a particular continent where we don't have a member where either the person comes from that particular country in a particular continent, or they are members because they want to participate in AFAS initiative. So I call upon everyone in the audience, if they want to participate in AFAS related activities, to please join us. That's it. I think all the best for those of you who receive the project awards, and all the best for everyone as well. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mare. So again, if you have any questions about the African Astronomical Society, please do contact Mare or the AFAS team. We move on quickly to the Royal Bafokeng Nation. Kusana Rakudu is here, I believe.
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon, colleagues. I trust that we are all doing well. I am Koketso Rakudu, the youngest serving chief of the Royal Bafokeng Nation in the Northwest Province. And we are also honored to really partner with OAD in terms of bringing astronomy into the Royal Bafokeng Nation in Rustenburg, and how we can use astronomy to solve some of the key challenges that we are faced with as the community. So the main mandate of the Royal Bafokeng Nation and the partnership with OAD, it's we believe that we are a bridge between the tradition and the modernity, guiding the Royal Bafokeng Nation to the sustainable future. And then, OAD, it's one of the key strategic partners that we have recently started to work with to ensure that, we as the Royal Bafokeng Nation, we also open doors for different astronomers in our village, looking at the key priorities that we are looking to solve as the nation, because we believe that this is not just a partnership to work with the stars, but it also needs to go with the ethics of cultural diversity, and how can traditional leadership open doors for astronomy, and to use that to advance the agenda of the Plan 2035 of the Royal Bafokeng Nation. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then next we have, we're also partners with Stellenbosch University, which is a university in South Africa, through their Co-Create Hub. Lynn, are you here?
Yes, I am here. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm projecting my screen. So just very briefly, I just have a few slides just to make things a bit visual while I'm speaking. So we have partnered with the OAD on an astronomy mental health project that was already being run through the OAD. And Stellenbosch in the Co-Create Hub, we had a nature-based environments and mental health project that we were also investigating and exploring. And so we bring spaces together for social impact. And we are trying to create a transdisciplinary research working group. It includes the health sciences, psychology, art, and then also astronomy. And we are really trying to address some societal challenges like teenage pregnancy, mental health, and addiction, to name a few, within the scope of this larger astronomy mental health project. We also are trying to work with communities a lot around public engagement and see how much learning we can do from there. And this is important for us because at the beginning of this collaboration, I think we shared the same belief system that we are really just trying to improve society. In this MOU, we focus specifically on social challenges and health challenges. And astronomy gives us this opportunity for reflection, for new perspectives, and to make the connections in ways that we might not have made before. In terms of what we are doing together, so we are planning and have hosted an event together where we took a group of families out into Sutherland, and together we experimented with what this means for mental health and how people engage with the experience. We're also looking at setting up some new sites, joint supervision of students, designing larger research projects. So I already see some partners that I can see, would be interesting to welcome into the consortium as we try to unpack the theories around how astronomy and mental health and well-being are linked, given all these other nuances in our African context. We're also looking at cross-discipline mentorship between exposure to and sharing international networks and platforms with one another. And hopefully through this experience, we will grow a cohort of interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary researchers that are not just siloed into one discipline. So out of the 4 main innovation focuses, I think I would like to just look at number 1 the most, which is around the theory making around environments and astronomy and mental health. So there's not a lot of theories that speak to the links and why it makes sense. We know it works, people are doing it, we're funding lots of projects, but where are the models and the theories in our African context? And I think that's something that we are really trying to unpack. Sharing data sets and design methods are also important for us. So there's a lot in public health that we can learn from data science and from astronomers. And then in the reverse also, there's a lot around community engagement, dissemination, science communication that we can share with our other colleagues. So in going forward, we really want to work with communities. So there are potentially new sites that we are looking at, such as in Paarl, Kuils, Bishop Laver, so really local sites, working with young people, strengthening science literacy, reflection, giving people opportunities to engage with astronomy, which seems miles away when they think about it at the moment. And long term, I think we are really looking for a partnership that promotes capacity development, social impact, and creative public engagement that is context specific, and really working towards this new cohort of interdisciplinary students and researchers that think beyond just their own discipline. In summary, that is what we are doing in our partnership. So thank you for the opportunity and good luck to everyone who has been funded. It's a very exciting time to be in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lynn. If your project deals with astronomy and mental health, please get in touch with Lynn or Dominic from the OAD. Next up, we have Dara, Development in Africa through Radio Astronomy. Melvin?
Hi, thanks, Ram, and sorry for joining late. So it's a pleasure to join this meeting and join in with the fantastic work that's happening with the development projects. So DARA stands for the Development in Africa with Radio Astronomy project. We've been partnering with OAD for 10 years now, and so the OAD is part of our steering committee, and we join in with helping to fund some of the projects that are getting underway with this onboarding. So just to give you a little bit of background about DARA itself, our main core activities are training students in Africa in the skills associated with radio astronomy. So we give a basic training to about 60 students per year across the 9 African partner countries that are joined with South Africa in hosting the Square Kilometre Array Next Generation Radio Telescope project. So that's sort of the focus of our work is getting those countries really ready for the Square Kilometre Array, the SKA, when it comes along. So as well as basic training in radio astronomy skills, we're also doing big data workshops and hackathons. So looking at that side, because the Square Kilometre Array will be the world's biggest sort of ICT project as well as a telescope. We're also funding master's students, PhDs, postdocs across Africa in the same countries. But more importantly, we work with industrial partners from the space industry. So obviously many people are going to come in and get interested in astronomy because of the big questions it can address. But there are not that many jobs in astronomy, so we want to equip people with skills that can go out and then get high-tech jobs in developing countries that can really contribute to economic development. And this is where it really works well working with the OAD, that combination of enthusiasm for people coming in looking at astronomy, but then the entrepreneurship that we've seen, especially in the young African citizens who are very keen to get on in the world. That's an extremely powerful combination. And so, bringing those 2 aspects together is what makes this such a good partnership. And it fits well with the remit of the whole DARA program, because we are funded by the UK government's overseas aid budget, basically. So in order to get the funding in the first place, we have to demonstrate how we are going to contribute to the economic and societal development of the various developing countries that we're working in. So our sort of core activity in terms of working together with the OAD, so we gather our cohorts together each year with an annual meeting. There's another one coming up in a few weeks' time in South Africa, where we get all the DARA partners together. They are encouraged at that meeting to, with the aid of people like Ram coming along and telling them about this opportunity, the annual call for proposals. We encourage each country group to write proposals and submit them. And if they are good enough for the award funding threshold, then DARA itself is funding those. So, and it's a privilege this time that from the current round, and about 5 projects that fit within the DARA remit are being funded by us directly this time. So these are projects from South Africa, East Africa, and Zambia. So it's great to have you on board. And all I want to do now really is wish you all the best with those projects and this endeavors, and look very much forward to hearing about the results. And just like to thank the OAD and the IAU for their excellent work in making all of this possible. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Melvin. So for all of the OAD projects this year receiving funding through DARA, well, this is who they are, and I hope that you have the opportunity to engage with them further. So the next one is Hack for Dev, or Hackathons for Development. Zodwa?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I had already introduced myself earlier on, but for those who did not join yet, I am Zodwa and I work as the operations coordinator for Hack for Dev. So just a quick background of Hack for Dev and the kind of work that we do. So Hack for Dev is a global collaboration that aims to accelerate skills development through hackathons. We are closely in alignment with Flagship 3 of the OAD, which is focused on using astronomy for skills development. We are also supported by various partners, including BRICS Astronomy, the OAD, the African Astronomical Society, as well as IDEA and DARA. We have two main objectives. The first one is skills development, where we try to build data science problem solving as well as technical capacity across communities through regional hackathons. The second objective is innovation, where we encourage creative data-driven solutions that address local and global development challenges. The biggest project that we've been working on for the past almost 2 years is the Data Science Hackathon program, which is a two-stage model. The first stage is the Trainers Hackathon. The second one is the regional hackathons. So we also use the cascade model for the Data Science Hackathon program. So just a quick overview of the framework that we use when we have the hackathon program. We first have the inputs where before the design and implementation of the hackathon, there should be resources and conditions in place. So this includes human resources, computational resources, as well as funding. And then we move on to the hackathon design, where which basically includes the design principles, the objectives, as well as the scopes. And then we move on to the cascade implementation. Firstly, we have the organizers hackathon, where we have a call out for participants, and then we receive the calls. So all the selected teams are basically gathered together in an event where they get the necessary training, and then they go back to their communities or regions to conduct the regional hackathons. After that, we focus on the hackathons solutions, where with the different teams submit the solutions for the challenge. And then we start with the hackathon analytics, where we collect data to understand the impact of each hackathon in the different regions. So we started with the Data Science Hackathon program last year, and building on the success and the lessons learned from the previous cycle, we currently on the second cycle right now, and we have 23 projects that are going to be funded. And the last cycle, we only had 13 regional hackathons. So this just shows the growth of the program itself. So we have majority of the projects that are going to be funded by DARA. So DARA is going to be funding 17 hackathons. The OAD and FS is the OAD is going to be partially funding 4 hackathons, and FS is going to be funding 2 hackathons. And RACE, which Nandi spoke about earlier on, is going to be also contributing to the partially funding hackathons in the different regions. So yeah, that's what we do at Hack4Dev, and all the best with conducting your own projects in your regions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zodwa. And now the last partner who is in the call is BRICS Astronomy. Dudu?
Sorry. Hi everyone. My name is Duduzile Kubeka. I'm based at the South African Astronomical Observatory, and I work on the BRICS Astronomy program as coordinator. So the project itself is the BRICS, let me start there. That's an association of the major emerging economies of the world, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Those were initial 5 countries, and recently joined by Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and the UAE. And it's really promising to expand. So in a STI meeting a few years ago, it was decided that the following 5 countries would lead the specific sciences, and astronomy is currently serving as Secretariat for Astronomy. I imagine this is still yet to change with the new member countries and the expansion of more STI focus areas. And then in this group, we have what we call the BRICS Astronomy Working Group, which is a group of experts. These are the scientists or astronomers across the different countries. We have government representatives who are called the focal points. And then we have people involved in the outreach and engagement work in the different countries. And this is all chaired by South Africa. Part of the working group is the annual meeting, which is held by a different country each year. India is hosting this year. Last year, we were hosted by Brazil, and then next year, we'll move on to China and so on and so forth. So at this annual meeting, we have a science workshop, and then there's also some outreach and development discussions, then followed by the annual business meeting where we decide on the resolutions that the countries will focus on in the coming year. And then recently we started adding skills development programs alongside the meetings to make sure we also capacitate more students who participate. This includes hackathons and virtual observatory training, science communication workshops, and also outreach to local communities. So this network on its own then also focused on a flagship project, which is called the BRICS Intelligent Telescope and Data Network. This particular project is the flagship for BRICS Astronomy, where we are hoping to have a network of the different existing infrastructure and even an implementation of new infrastructure in the BRICS countries where they can be connected, as the SAO is currently testing it out with the intelligent observatory design. And then most relevant to this particular meeting is the BRICS Astronomy and the Societal Impact Programs. So a big part of my job as well is working on the societal benefit programs across BRICS. And this means coordinating and collaborating with the different partner countries to work on collaborative projects that are looking at outreach, at education and development programs. So these are our main objectives: the training and capacity building. We are trying to bridge industry and academia. There's public awareness and outreach, as well as inclusivity and diversity. We're ensuring inclusive representations across the different groups. And our target groups look at university students, there's high school learners, there's teacher training programs. And then I think a lot more of information about the specific projects that we work on, you can find on the website. But how people can get involved is we get in touch with the different countries at different levels, like government level, right through to people who are implementers. And we are now looking at forming working groups for all those countries to make sure we streamline the programs we work on and ensure that they are aligned with the national priorities of all those different countries. So if you're interested, please look through the website, and then you can also get in touch with me to see how we can work together. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so that was a lot of information. I know that. So I see that Joyful just posted a link to our Discord group. If you haven't joined it already, please do, because we'll post regular updates and opportunities from all our networks, all the partners that you just heard about. Every one of them has a number of activities and programs, many of them international. So we will share throughout the year opportunities from all these partners or networks. Please do join the Discord for that, and you can also continue engaging with the other projects that have been selected this year, but also other people in the world who are working in astrotourism, mental health, the OAD's flagship themes. So there's a lot going on in Discord as well, and of course we'll continue emailing you, but this is the end of day one. So please join us tomorrow. You can go away, relax for a bit, think about everything that we shared with you. Tomorrow it'll be different. It'll be more interactive. So we'll engage with each of you more specifically about your project. Yeah, so if there are no questions, then we will end here. Thank you for joining, everyone, and thank you for staying until the end.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Rama.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.